A shocking report on America's children. High school students are now falling behind in both math and reading. And the trend is part of a very troubling, ongoing, years-long academic decline. The data comes from the National Assessment of Education Progress, which is a federal standardized test. Last year's reading score was the lowest in the history of the assessment. In math, scoring was the lowest in some 20 years. For all the latest, we're joined now by CNN Chief Data Analyst Harry Enten. Harry, can you unpack these very troubling findings for us?
Yeah, okay, Wolf. And yes, they are extremely troubling. And we will start off with reading. Okay, 12th graders scoring at least basic. This is just at least partial knowledge. We're not even talking about proficient here, and we're certainly not talking about advanced. We're just talking about at least basic. And let's start with reading. I mean, you go back. In 2013, it was 74%. 2015, 72%. 2019, 70%. Now we're talking 67%. And so what I think is so important to point out is a lot of people might say, oh, it was COVID. COVID is causing these declines. Look, it might have exacerbated the trend line, but this trend line of going downward dates back all the way to the middle of the last decade, long before COVID actually hit the United States back in 2020. And when we're talking here about reading and 67% who scored at least basic, keep in mind that the proficient number is about half this level, and the advanced number is only about 5% of those 12th graders are scoring advanced on this. So we're just talking at least basic, and this trend line, extremely troubling. Only two-thirds of 12th graders scored at least basic on reading. Now, of course, we're not just talking reading here, Wolf. We're talking about mathematics as well, and the scores are even lower. What are we talking about here? 12th graders scored at least basic on math. Again, it's the same trend line that we saw in reading. And again, this is just at least basic. 65% in 2013, 62% in 2025, 59% in 2019, and then we get 55%. The bottom has fallen out here in mathematics. And of course, what's so important to note here, 55%, what does that mean? That means, get this, about 45% can't even score at least basic in reading. Oh my God, nearly half of 12th graders, seniors in the United States of America, are basically failing when it comes to simple mathematics, Wolf. This is scary stuff.
Very scary. Was this drop-off, Harry, just limited to high school seniors?
Yeah, okay, so we've been talking about high schoolers, right? We spoke about high schoolers when it comes to math. We spoke about high schoolers when it came to reading. But they also tested 8th graders, those who were going into high school, and they tested them on science. And look here, 8th graders scoring at least basic on science. It's the exact same trend, and on a different subject. In 2015, 68%. 2019, 67%. And now we're talking about 62%, only at least scoring basic, just 62% on science. Again, the inverse of that is we're talking about nearly 2 in 5 of those who have graduated middle school, Wolf, who can't even score at least basic on science. My goodness gracious. So mathematics, reading, and science, 8th graders and 12th graders, we are seeing clear declines on just basic levels. And again, on advanced levels, we're really only talking about a third across the board. And when we're talking about, proficient levels and advanced levels, we're only talking about 5%. So the bottom line is, when it comes to education, we're heading in the wrong direction. Hopefully, we're able to figure something out, because soon enough, if you can't read, you can't write, you can't do science, it's not a whole heck of a lot you can do with your life.
Yeah, it's so disturbing indeed. Harry Enten, thank you very, very much, pal.
Thank you.
Very, very troubling to see those numbers. Thanks, Harry.